In this video, I'm going to be covering the legacy of Garth Greenhand, Westeros' first great king. Long before the Targaryens, before the Andals, before even the rise of the great castles of Westeros, there was a time of legends. A time where great heroes walked the land, shaping the very foundation of the kingdoms we know today. Among these mythical figures, one name stands out: Garth Greenhand, the legendary King of the Reach and the father of countless noble bloodlines. Garth Greenhand is a figure that's full of myth, a legendary king whose story is deeply entwined with the history of House Gardner and the Reach. Some claim he was the first High King of the Reach, a godlike figure who brought agriculture to Westeros and blessed the lands with fertility. Others say he was merely a powerful warlord, uniting the first men of the South under his rule. Regardless of this truth, his impact on Westerosi history cannot be denied. One of the most fascinating aspects of Garth Greenhand's legacy is the claim that he fathered numerous children, many of whom went on to establish noble houses that still stand in Westeros today. Among his supposed descendants are the Gardners, the Florents, the Tyrells, the Hightowers, the Redwynes, the Fossaways, the Oakharts, and even the Tarleys. Some say he was a fertility god incarnate, while others believe he simply used his political power to marry into many families, strengthening his rule. But who was he really? Some believe he was not a singular figure, but rather a symbolic representation of the many rulers and kings who first established agriculture in Westeros. Others suggest that he may have been a divine being, a demigod of nature revered by the early first men. So here's the first theory on Garth, the historical king. Some maesters believe that there was indeed a real chieftain or high king named Garth, who ruled in the early days of Westeros. His contributions to agriculture may have been exaggerated over time, becoming the foundation of his myth. Theory number two: Garth the Green Man. In certain interpretations, Garth is linked to the old gods and the worship of nature. His title, Greenhand, could be a reference to the Greenseers, mystics who were deeply connected to the weirwood trees and the magical essence of Westeros. And finally, the third theory on Garth and the Druidic tradition. Some legends suggest that Garth's ability to bring fertility to the land was rooted in Druidic magic. The early inhabitants of the Reach may have practiced rituals honoring him and making sure that there was bountiful harvests. In the Reach, many still revere Garth Greenhand to the day, treating him as a quasi religious figure. Ancient songs and stories tell of his connection to the old gods, the land, and the harvest. Some accounts even suggest that his power came from Judaic magic, allowing him to bring prosperity wherever he stepped. But with all this being said, how much of this legend is actually true? Did Garth Greenhand truly exist, or is he a composite of many rulers and cultural myths combined into one figure? Maesters from the Citadel argue that while there may have been a powerful chieftain named Garth, much of his story has been exaggerated over the centuries. And what kind of archaeological evidence exists? Not much. Little physical evidence exists to confirm Garth's existence, unlike the ruins of Valyria or the detailed histories of the Targaryens. Much of what we know about the Age of Heroes comes from oral traditions, which can change drastically over time. Whether real or mythical, Garth Greenhand's influence on Westeros is undeniable. His legacy lives on in the noble houses that claim descent from him and in the fields of the Reach, which remain the breadbasket of Westeros to this day. His story shows us the way that history can be shaped by both truth and myth. Garth Greenhand was the father of kings, bringer of harvest, and a legend whose roots run deep in Westeros. Do you think he was real, or was he just a myth? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Till next time.